right, we got wrestling. Wrestling on Me podcast, you listen. As we listen to wrestling music. I'm here always with my host, MC.
Hello, Coach JC.
This time, we have a special guest. But he's not really a special guest. He's almost like a reappearing guest. And we have the Ramrock showing up tonight to talk wrestling with us.
Yes, sir. Welcome, Ramrock. How are you, buddy?
You know, you guys made me feel really good saying I was a special guest, and then you just called me a recurring guest. But,
yeah,
you know,
I know.
It's all good.
I was thinking about it. You're not really special anymore. Special would be like the first time you showed up. Now you're just kind of like that blister on the side of my foot.
Special reoccurring guest. How's that?
Regardless, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to always talk wrestling with you guys.
Yeah, we got the Elimination coming up this Saturday at 12 noon in Saudi Arabia, Ramrock. We were talking about that last episode.
Before we get into that, is this like the same thing as last year and the years before? Is this that thing that they go to and they all feel very uncomfortable at and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so to kind of set this one up, so apparently there is a gigantic amount of money being funneled into WWE from the Prince of Saudi Arabia for these events. So basically, whatever he wants card-wise, providing the wrestlers actually want to go there, because there are some that won't go there or can't go there, like in the case of Sami Zayn. They're going to get paid huge bank for it. That's why Goldberg works every event here. They get paid massive bank for these events here in Saudi Arabia.
And this is the one where it's like very limited audience, and he like sits on a couch and stuff like that and watches it, right?
No, this isn't a gigantic stadium in Saudi Arabia.
So it is a big event.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not like the women's wrestling in an apartment or anything. That's what you're thinking of.
No, it wasn't. But I'm glad you went that way. A little dark. You went down a dark road all of a sudden. MC, dark roads.
Sorry, it was a flashback to pillow fighting episode from last week.
Pillow fighting's real. You watch, but
yeah, it is.
It's going to take over.
It's a thing. It's apparently a thing.
Pillow fighting's going to take over. It's going to be selling.
I just found out that the female NFL's a thing too. So.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Female NFL.
Or I don't know whatever it's called. I saw girls playing football, and like they had like I don't know if it was like lingerie league or something, but they're all wearing.
It's the women's lingerie league that they used to have out where they. This is what bothers me about that, Rocky. A good thing you brought it up is that those girls are in shoulder pads and they're in helmet like a hockey helmet, and that's it. That's it.
Oh yeah. And
they're getting hit and they're tackling each other, and then guys can't even show up on the field unless they have proper protection on their pads or arms or fingers. And it's like, oh, I need to fix this. And these girls are out there in their underwear, basically, playing with pads on and just crushing the shit out of each other. And I'm like, how's that make a guy look? How's that make a guy who plays in the NFL look? And they're going to say, well, we're bigger and stronger. Well, so I think it's kind of cool that they go out there they just play in shoulder pads in a hockey helmet. So.
It's brutal. You want to take a tackle in the grass, just wearing your underwear and get skinned up? I don't think so, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, you get grass in your underwear, and that's it. I'm not playing anymore. I agree with you.
Grass in your underwear?
Yeah. somehow that's how Rocky...
Just slather them in mud and have them play in a big pool and see how tough they'll be.
That's where Rocky went with that. You know what? I'm not playing if you put grass in my underwear. That's the last straw for me. I get grass in my underwear, I'm not playing.
I know this. We can't talk about this episode, but I sent you that text about that old book that was written in late '80s. The guy surprisingly is still alive. The NFL doesn't mysteriously made him disappear, but. That was the one where he was telling him the league was based off of, gambling, and the decisions were questionable. And I guess a couple of them were found out to have been influenced by the betting line. So eventually I want to get your take on that, Coach JC, if you're willing to talk about it one of these episodes.
I don't know. I need to check with my agent first before I talk about anything like that.
In case you ever play again, you don't want to be blackballed.
Yeah, I know my knee's really healing up good here, and I don't got any grass in my underwear, so I think I could go ahead and go play.
You might have one good run left in you, right?
Maybe. One. It'll be literally one good run. I'll just run, and then I'll fall down. That'll be it.
Yeah. As long as you get paid the league minimum for that year, you'll be a rich man.
Yeah, there you go. That's all you got to do, man. One big run. That's it.
All right, before we get on,
that paycheck.
I just got to play this real quick for my buddy the Ramrock.
All right.
Most people can't handle this type of suffering.
This is pretty intense. Have you seen this? Have you seen his promo?
This is frightening.
It's not like most people. You see, to me, this is paradise.
He's wearing like a singlet in this.
19th, I'll leave my paradise.
That's my wrestling gear.
Yeah, that's his gear.
I got a question though.
So I go to war.
Can you zip up that sweatshirt? Because it looks pretty tight on you. I don't know.
I can zip up that sweatshirt.
Well, good for you, man. Good for you.
But thank you. Thank you for the compliment. I've been trying to work on my upper body. Been trying to put on a little bit more muscle.
Well,
that's a 2X.
The zipper looks like it's not going to make it. I mean, you fill it out pretty well, and then the zippers are like, we're never going to see each other again on both sides. Like, we'll never be united. So I was just questioning. The video it was pretty intense. It was like, hey, you in the corner. I'm going to kick your ass. Okay, I agree with you. I believe you, big man with a huge beard and a zippered shirt wide open, showing off your singlet and a chest tattoo, looking all angry. So who are you wrestling? Who are you mad at?
Before
who are you
we
mad at?
run down this card, tell us, you're the Great Destroyer. He's teaming up with Ryan Riven. What do you have planned for this next SCW show before we jump into the WWE stuff?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about that for a second. So, at first, I was told our manager, Booker, the owner of SCW, calls me. His name's Tu Maguchi. Calls me up and he says, "Hey, it's going to be you and Riven are taking on AJ Tempe and Arrow." And I mean, of course, that's laughable. Because, those two guys against us, they don't stand a chance. Yeah. But then I get another call a couple days later, and Arrow, I guess I got to give him credit where credit is due. He's he's definitely smarter than AJ because he backed out of the match. And so AJ needs to find a partner. So AJ, I know you're listening to this. Good luck, man.
Dare I say he backed out, Ramrock, because he's seen that video.
You know what? I'm sure he did. That video was posted.
I would have backed out. I would have just been like, no. Wherever he was, it looked scary enough. And then just looking at him, I definitely wouldn't wrestle you, Rocky. I would be afraid. And did you say AJTP or TJP? Who is it?
AJ Tempe. So this kid,
AJ Tempe.
He's got a bright future. I got to give credit where credit is due. He's very young. He's got a lot of talent, but he's nowhere near ready to step in the ring with me. You've got a 4-month kid going in the ring against a 12-year vet. So, AJ, you better find a good partner.
Well, that seems silly.
I think you're gonna eat him alive, Rock. I think he's in trouble.
He is definitely in trouble. You better find someone who can help him out, that's for sure.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be a scary time. So when's that event, Rock? Can you just say it one more time? Where it
Absolutely.
Take place, the time?
This event is going to be, it's called SCW Before the Storm, Live Professional Wrestling, this Saturday, February 19th, at the Sun Studios in Tempe, Arizona.
Awesome.
Bell time is... I believe the doors open at 6. Bell time is going to be at 7. VIP tickets are $25. General admission is $20.
This is great because they can watch the Saudi event, and then later on they have those of our fans in Arizona. They can go straight to the SCW event, enjoy some live action then.
That's absolutely correct. And I'm even more excited for this event because we are going head-to-head with another Arizona promotion, the AWF. on the very same night. So little head-to-head local wrestling competition. I want to wish those boys all the best of luck in their show. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come on out and enjoy wrestling.
How are you guys going? You going head-to-head?
Nice.
Where is it? Or are they wrestling in a different location?
Correct. They are going to be. They're running a show the same night we are. I want to say it's somewhere up in Glendale. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at their post. But yeah, they're running out the same night.
JC, don't ask him to give away the location and time of his competition now. Come on there.
I wasn't. I was gonna mute him. I was gonna mute him right in the middle of it. Right in the middle of it. I was gonna play.
The time and place is.
I was gonna play this in the middle.
There you go. Nice.
I was be like, you can't hear it because they're playing pro wrestling Nintendo style.
I should have known. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Good stuff indeed.
Want to run down this card?
I'm ready.
Yeah,
ready. Let's talk
match.
elimination.
All right. So as we were telling Coach JC, this is the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view live this Saturday, 12 noon start time. So if you are off on Saturday, you wake up, whatever. Even if you sleep in late, you can come check this thing out. This is in Saudi Arabia, WWE on the Peacock Network, WWE Network, and we're going to run down this card. Elimination Chamber traditionally takes place on the road to WrestleMania, usually in February, but I think there's another pay-per-view next month too before Mania. But this one is the big one to kind of set up some of the other potential matchups. So we'll run it down here, Rock, and we'll get your thoughts on these.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
All right. First matchup is we got from the Raw brand, Rey Mysterio versus The Miz. Who do you got in this one?
I got to put my money on The Miz. He has been probably one of the better heels in WWE. I mean, he's definitely not on Roman Reigns' level. Roman Reigns is at that point where he's been a heel for so long. He's been doing such a good job that now people are starting to cheer him. He's getting back to that level. So when it comes to just the pure heel wrestler, The Miz is untouchable in my opinion in WWE. So my money's going on The Miz for this one.
Who do you got? Who do you got, MC? I want to know who you got.
Okay, I think I'm going with Rey. He's on the cover of the new WWE video game. I think you got to give him some love if you're going to keep him around in WWE. And I think both of these guys are headed to I believe, their own matches at Mania. I think Rey is going to lead to a match with his son. So I don't know if this will happen at this event or on Raw. And we have big news, actually, we should drop and actually talk about this. Potentially, I don't know if they're working us now. Cody Rhodes and his wife, Brandi Rhodes, are actually currently free agents with leaving AEW. Two of the founders of the AEW.
Yep,
and
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, they potentially now, as free agents, if this is real and Cody's not working us now, I think a perfect matchup for him in time for WrestleMania is to pit him against The Miz and Maurice. And wife, both couples are on reality shows, and it almost makes too much sense to not do this.
Oh, absolutely. I agree 100% with that statement. I mean, and there's if you believe the dirt sheets that's going around, there's already been confirmation that Cody's camp has been actively talking with the WWE. And Vince has never been a guy to not do business, whether you leave on bad terms or not. Vince, if it's going to draw money, he'll do it. And it's shocking. Like, this news was shocking, and
it's definitely a shocker today.
I think it's pretty legit because Tony Khan posted on his Twitter, a heartfelt thank you, thanking Cody and Brandi for everything they did for the company, and wish them the best. Again, the dirt sheets are real. Cody wanted a major money deal, like big time money, and they were in negotiations for 6 weeks. So, but they couldn't come up with a deal. I guess either Tony's pockets aren't that deep, or there's something else going on that we're not aware of.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this is a scam, and I'll tell you why. Because I think they're trying to work the audience. They're trying to get something out of it. They're trying to get something. They're trying to draw both attentions to both brands. Nothing's gonna hurt to draw from one end to the other. and say, hey, this is what's next thing you know, guess what? AEW's in the spotlight and WWE's just getting the push. So I think it's just it's one of those things where it's a WCW WWE situation coming right back again. Next thing you know, they're collaborating because they're seeing themselves not really drawing as much as they want. I can't see someone who started a brand and put it all in and then say, I'm just going to walk away and go back to where I walked away from.
Yeah.
You make a very valid point, JC. Absolutely.
What I'm thinking is,
as a promoter myself and a businessman, I got to look at it this way: is that someone's trying to grease someone's palms. No one's going to beat. Nobody's going to beat the WWE. Nobody is going to take away the history and everything behind it. No one's just going to wash that away to go watch AEW. But Vince McMahon sees it as an opportunity to get a bigger audience by drawing in AEW when they collaborate with them, even though they're acting like they're not. It's just going to draw more attention to both of them.
Yeah, I think from that perspective, since they were very close to actually, a lot of people didn't know this, that Chris Jericho was scheduled to actually do what they call the Forbidden Door. He would appear in the Royal Rumble. That was part of the deal he did for doing Steve Austin's podcast on the network. And then what happened is John Moxley, whose deal's up in a few months, he was talking to his buddy Roman Reigns. Then he tried to change the surprise to Moxley in the Rumble, or having Moxley appear with the Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns match. That didn't work out, and then Jericho kind of like said, "F you guys, if you don't want me in there, I'm gonna not do it now." So the Forbidden Door closed then, but I'm thinking maybe they're working on that, and maybe this, like Coach JC is talking about, they're in cahoots and they're gonna make it work for WrestleMania, and basically maybe it'll be a 2 pay-per-view deal where they face Miz and Maurice in one on WrestleMania, beat them, and then Miz and Maurice face them again on the following pay-per-view, and then they come back stronger characters on AEW.
Yeah, you just see it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to have that type of rivalry going on, and it doesn't hurt the both businesses. And again, wrestling's wrestling, right? It's pro wrestling. So people who like pro wrestling are going to watch both.
Absolutely.
I think they both get the rub out of it, so we'll have to watch this one closely. I think Ray, like I said, wins it, but the Miz, I think, is in for a gigantic rub with this Cody Rhodes thing if this really happens.
So my question is, when do you think Rey Mysterio is going to retire?
Good question. I think he wants to face a son at WrestleMania, maybe.
He wants to fight his own son?
Could be this WrestleMania. Give his son that big push. Yeah.
That's going to draw on even longer. You know that, right? It's just going to draw on.
Yeah, they might not do it at Mania. Who knows? I mean, Vince has been known to, lead towards that and then pull back. So
I think he should.
WrestleMania is 2 days now. How much longer can they draw it out?
No, I'm talking about the storyline. What I think is Rey Mysterio should wrestle a baby. He should just wrestle a baby
4 days
and just get it over with. It could be a 10-part miniseries. We could just have WrestleMania and then have like season 1, episode 1.
2 days is too much. No. Let's go back to 1 day.
They bring
matches,
back the Ultimate Warrior's son. He comes out. Everybody's kids now are in it. Like, everybody's here. King Kong Bundy's nephew.
I don't think Mania Rock has ever been 8 matches. Even the early ones, they've been like extravaganzas. I think it's actually I'm in favor of the 2-night thing. I think it works better. You have matchups that are fresh. Some guys are waiting for the next day. Some of them gets their matches out of the way. I personally like it. I think it doesn't burn you out of like 8 hours of wrestling on Sunday.
Okay. Yeah. I see your point. I just, I guess I'm old school, and I feel like less is more in wrestling. And I don't know. I just feel like 2 days is just too much, and it's hard. Like, I think it's got to be really hard if you buy tickets, right? Like, how do the ticket sales work? Like, do you buy a ticket, you get admission to both days, or if you want both days, does it cost more money?
I think it's a park hopper like Disneyland. So there's a 2-day package, and then with it, you get a souvenir cup and a picture with one of your favorite wrestlers. If you do the 1-day pass, you get 50% off the 2nd-day pass. So Rockies, believe me. Really?
A free sticker.
You get a sticker, you get a magazine signed by John Cena, and
sweet.
you get his wristbands that say Thug Life or whatever on them.
Hey, Cena's killing it in the Peacemaker series. I didn't expect to like it that much. I will say that.
I have got to see this. Everyone says it's fantastic.
Entertaining. Definitely entertaining.
I'll have to watch it.
He said he has sex in it. I don't know if I want to see that.
Multiple times, I think.
Yeah. Cena's like, if Cena's like he's huge. He's a monster. It'd be like watching the Hulk.
Didn't he have sex with that comedy girl in one of those movies?
Yeah, but it was kind of a joke with Amy Schumer. But
yeah, Amy Schumer. That was.
I don't think there's a movie I haven't seen with John Cena now. He hasn't had his clothes off and just walking around in his underwear.
He-Man. He would make a good He-Man, apparently.
I think he would.
Some friend said, yeah.
He'd be an awesome He-Man.
Yeah.
He looks like a He-Man. Just his action figure body alone looks like a He-Man.
Put a what are the bowl cut wig on him and fucking He-Man.
When he showed up, just put a little Mo from the Three Stooges wig on him. He's right in.
Blonde Mo wig, and he's He-Man.
And he's He-Man. Hey, Mo. So he the funny thing is when he was in Daddy's home and he showed up on that motorcycle. Could that motorcycle be any tinier on him? I mean, it's full-size motorcycle. It looked like he's riding a tricycle riding into that movie. Dude's gigantic.
I haven't seen many of.
Have you ever seen any movies?
I've seen The Marine with Cena, and then I've seen The Suicide Squad, which he's in. And to be honest, and I've seen the Transformers one, Bumblebee.
No, where he's angry all the time. He's like, he's yelling at everybody.
He was pretty bad in Bumblebee. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
it's like I like the movie, but I think he played a real generic.
Not to go to some other subject, but doesn't it bother you that in those movies everybody acts like the robots are just there, like no one seems to be really stunned when there's just robots walking around town? They're like, like I would be like, whoa! They're like, I would sprint. I wouldn't even look at the robot. They're like all this, like, oh look, it's Bumblebee. It's like, come on, these are robots and they're walking around and they're destroying a town. They should show the aftermath of the fight and see how the town, like they did with that one superhero movie, they're all mad. Like we don't appreciate. We don't appreciate when you guys come and fight and destroy our house, destroy everything we built.
Well, they'd probably annihilate a city if they were really fighting like they showed in some of those. I think in that movie it was the two evil cars. Yeah, and I think they ended up basically just warring with the army or something. So,
all right, back to wrestling. We lost Rocky. He just walked away from the phone.
Oh no, I'm still here.
He's over there. He's over there petting his dog like you're a good dog. And so, you want to know who's going to win this weekend? Do you want to know?
All right, we got Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss Falls Count Anywhere match.
I just don't. I'm going to interfere with this one. I don't like the name Madcap, so I choose McIntyre.
I'm choosing Drew McIntyre also. I'm hoping this is going to give him a bigger push. I mean, obviously they're building for McIntyre versus Happy Corbin.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Kind of wish Drew Mac was getting a bigger push, but it's all good. I like the guy. He's definitely going over in this one.
He's actually worse on SmackDown. I thought, well, now he can feud with Roman. He's got fresh matchups, and all they've done with him on SmackDown is they've kept him just under Roman Reigns or even lower. So, it's sad that actually, if you look at it now, he would have been better off staying on Raw. But yeah, hopefully we see the first death on as far as like storyline death, and he just chops off Madcap, just slices Madcap Moss's head off with that sword, and we could just retire that character. Just retire that character, and they
could do like a pan away where you just see a shadow, and then he slices and the head rolls. Just pops off.
Yeah. They already did that for the Attitude Era when they chopped off Val Venus's penis.
Choppy, pee-pee.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Wouldn't it be funny? Like he chops off Madcap's head, and he's just then his head. This probably be too ridiculous. Picturing Madcap's head just talking and still telling jokes. But after his head's chopped off, and he's just saying, No, what do you know? And he makes a bad pun or something, and then
I gotta ask another question.
Kicks his head in the crowd or something.
Do you watch The Mandalorian? Do you guys watch The Mandalorian?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Sure do.
Boba Fett as well.
Did you watch Boba Fett?
Yes, sir.
Did you just
I
watch?
have not.
Did you watch the end of the Boba Fett, MC?
I did. Yes.
Did you watch when? Did you get a tear in your eye?
You want to
when,
spoil
when,
it for Rocky?
when yeah,
That's okay.
Rocky's not gonna watch it.
Rocky's not gonna watch. What do you mean? Maybe he's saving it.
Go ahead and spoil it.
right.
I want to hear this.
Okay.
Right,
baby Yoda, whatever his name is, shows back up in the show.
Grogu.
Basically, here's what it goes, Rocky. It starts off Boba Fett, and then it ends up Mandalorian. It just ends up in the middle of the show for somehow they're like, Boba Fett's so boring because he's always like, this is my town. Like, he always talks like he's angry, and it just doesn't seem right. So here comes Mandalorian again. He's back in it. And all of a sudden, Mandalorian and him are fighting. And all of a sudden, Baby Yoda's just like, like we need something else. And Baby Yoda's decides, you know what, Luke Skywalker, you're full of shit. I'm going to go back to my friend Mando. And then he shows up in the very last episode. And you think...
Just spoiling it. Spoiling everything.
You would think today's technology, they would do a better job with the Baby Yoda. But it still looks like a Muppet walking around. And when they do the scene where he goes, what are you doing here? And the little baby Yoda's like, giggle, giggle. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he jumps on him to hugs them. He hugs them. And it doesn't even look like a hug. It kind of looked like he was on a retractable rope. And they just pulled him into him. It was so pathetically sad. You could think they could have done a better job. And then Baby Yoda, while Mando's getting his ass kicked, pulls out his little super Jedi powers to fight this robot. And you know what he does to the robot? This huge robot. He's like 6 foot, 1,000-pound, big, huge robot. You know what little Baby Yoda does to help Mando? He pulls a bolt out of his leg. That's all he could do. He's ancestors with Yoda, and he pulls a bolt out. That was it. And then you think, well, someone's going to die here. No one dies. Mando goes away.
Well, yeah.
And it makes no, not Mando and not Baby Yoda and not Boba Fett. No.
Well, yeah, but
they're all alive, so we can have longer series.
Some of his crew dies. Some of his crew dies.
Hey, you know what? No one's buying action figures of his crew. Okay, they're buying Mando, Boba Fett, and Baby Yoda.
Yeah. Well,
if no one's seen it,
there are 2 Mando episodes. So even if you weren't planning to watch it, just like JC says, there's one episode that gets really good. Finally, I think for Boba Fett. As soon as that happens, then they switch kind of to Mando's story near the end. So
yeah,
you will definitely have.
There's
to
like
watch
six. There's like 6 episodes, and 3 of them are Mando. Everybody's like, "Hey, I didn't know we were watching Mandalorian again." And like, no, we're not watching Boba Fett, but Boba Fett got old, and we need to bring something back.
Well, the Mando episodes, I think, were directed by Filoni himself, so actually that's why he was trying to bridge the gap to the 3rd season of Mandalorian, I think. So
well, he didn't bridge anything. And I got to tell you right now,
he has Grogu back, and whenever they go to Mandalore or whatever, they already have that whole storyline with Grogu and Luke. That's all
you know what?
wrapped up.
They're selling more Grogu action figures. I'll tell you that right now. That guy's so cute. As soon as that happened, I'm not gonna lie. When Grogu showed back up, and he had his little face, and he acted like he didn't see Mando forever. He's in love with him. Like, I love you, Mando. I started crying. I was like, oh, I should have hugged my dad more. Okay.
Oh jeez, I told my buddy for a long time I thought Grogu was a girl. He was like, no, he's not. He's not a girl.
Is he?
And I thought they should have. No, he's not. As far as I know, he's not.
How do you know? You don't even see what's underneath the robe.
Well, Ahsoka said
mysteries. All right, let's go back.
Ahsoka, I think, said that. Good segue to get us off the chopping of the head. So, which I just said it again. Damn it!
I know. What's wrong with you?
Still good.
Yeah, thank you. SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos versus the Viking Raiders. Who you got?
Oh, Vikings!
Gosh, I want the Viking Raiders to win so bad, but I know they're not. The Usos are going to retain.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think they barely do. I think the only title change they ever did in Saudi was the one that you never wanted to see, which was the Fiend lose.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I don't expect any title to change hands.
Now, Viking Raiders, as awesome as they are, as talented as they are, They just don't have that momentum to go into Mania with championships. I mean, that's literally what this pay-per-view is all about, is who's going to be at Mania. And sadly, the Viking Raiders just don't have that push yet, but hopefully soon. They're highly talented dudes. Would love to see them get a main event push soon.
I agree. Let's go to one of the Elimination Chamber matches, which is the huge selling point because this match is brutal. We got the women going at it for the winner will earn a opportunity at the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania. So this is a star-studded matchup here, Rock. We got Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan versus Doudrop versus Nikki ASH. We got Bianca Belair finishing. She's going to come in last via what happened on Raw. She won that gauntlet match. And we got the returning Alexa Bliss. Not sure which gimmick she's going to be in, but she's going to make her return at this one. Who you got?
So, Alexa Bliss' storyline is apparently she's now cured. So, I'm extremely happy that she's not stealing the Fiend's gimmick anymore.
I don't know. She still had the doll, so what the hell are you supposed to expect from that?
Oh, yeah, you know what? That could be the big twist. Maybe she's just pretending to be cured. Anyways,
yeah.
I'm going to have to say I really, really want – I'm rooting for Liv Morgan, but I don't think she's going to win. I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley on this one.
Oh, wow. Yeah. She had a good push. I think it was disappointing that Liv didn't win that day one match. I know it because it kind of kills the suspense with Ronda coming back. I think the crowd was ready to Liv. I don't know how the Dallas crowd would react to Liv if she's in that match against Becky. I'm with you. I think I would love to see Liv, but I don't know. I'll pick her still, but I really feel like I think Bianca is probably going to win this one.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me because Bianca, she lost in 15 seconds or whatever on SummerSlam. And, this is the big rematch. This is the big redemption. So that's the most realistic scenario. But yeah, I think Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch could be could steal the show at WrestleMania. But
yeah, I just don't think they'll probably go back to that Live Well. I would love to see it. I think you have a better singles matchup, Rhea versus Bianca at WrestleMania. If you were to put Liv or say even Alexa Bliss back in that role, but you got to have somebody that's believable to beat Becky because she's in a unbelievably long title reign right now. So I think with that, and more than likely it's probably going to be Bianca.
Yep, Bianca. I'm still putting my money on Rhea Ripley because that chick is huge and she's freaking awesome.
I would love to see her face Charlotte Flair again. I think they just are so evenly matched. It's
absolutely
can't wait for their rematch at one point. Okay, let's go back and we got more ladies action occurring, and it's just pretty cool to see in Saudi because I think before you went from no matches there, and now we got 3 ladies matchups, which is cool. I mean, they still got to be covered up, but.
And on top of that, they have like the big Bolton, the huge, billboard of the ladies on there. And apparently like there was death threats and all kinds of other controversial stuff that WWE is trying not to let get out to the public. But yeah, apparently there, there's a lot of heat that they were advertising that on a huge billboard. But I think it's fantastic personally. I mean, that country is just, they're just so far in the old era. Like, it's revolutionary what they're doing, honestly.
Yeah, it is. Can we get into to modern times here? Jeez, for Pete's sake.
Exactly.
So we got another big one. Ronda Rousey and Naomi are teaming up against the SmackDown to face the SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair, who's teaming up with Sonya Deville. Who do you got in this one?
They can't let Ronda lose right before WrestleMania, right? So it's going to be Ronda Rousey for sure.
See, I kind of disagree. I think Charlotte is actually – I'm not going to say she's going to pin Ronda, but I think Charlotte gets the Duke in this one, and I don't think Ronda takes the fall, but I think Charlotte kind of gets one up on Ronda in this one to kind of set up their match at Mania. So I feel like we're going to see Charlotte and Sonya take this one.
I can see that. I think Yeah, because they are building the Sonya versus Naomi feud as well. That'll likely culminate at WrestleMania too. So
Maybe.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna switch my vote to that. I'm gonna say Charlotte and yeah, what's her name?
Is he allowed? Coach JC, is he allowed to do that?
I don't know, because it just seems like you guys both say the same thing. You always say, "Hey, what do you think, Rocky?" Rocky's like, "I'm gonna go with the Roddy Piper on this one. I think he's gonna take it this time." And then you're like, I think I'm gonna slightly disagree," which means I'm gonna disagree. I'm not gonna slightly. I'm just gonna disagree and say, Roddy Piper's dead, so I don't think he can take it. And you go, yeah, that's a good point. Let me go back and say I didn't think he's gonna take it either.
We're like the panel on pre-shows. We all have to say different things. Vince gets pissed off.
Each time,
you guys keep guessing the same people, damn it.
Yeah, Rocky goes with his thought, and then you always go, "I'm gonna slightly disagree," which is really just disagreeing. I don't know how you're slightly doing it, and then for somehow you convince Rocky halfway through to go, "Yeah, I can see that. I'm gonna go back and say, yeah, that's good."
Well, hey. He brings up very good points that I didn't think about. And honestly, I'm not really invested in that match. We've seen it. And so, I'm not too invested in it. And, MC brings up some very good points.
He does. So why don't you this time, let's go with what MC thinks first, and then we'll go this way. Instead of MC asking you what you think, let's let him say what he thinks, and then let's see what you say now.
Okay,
I'll go first on this one. We got Raw's Women's Champion Becky Lynch defending against Lita.
Lita.
I don't know. I think we're going to disappoint you on this, Coach JC, because I just don't see Becky Lynch losing this title. What do you think, Rex?
Yep, Becky Lynch is definitely not going to lose. Lita.
He was totally going to go with Lita, and then you could just said it again.
You think so?
You got the master control. You're like, because you were like, what do you think, Rocket? He's like, damn, I kind of thought Lita, but you got a good point there. You have some valid points. I think I'm going to go with Becky Lynch.
Get this, though, real quick. Get this. Lita has already told one of the media outlets that she doesn't know what she's doing at WrestleMania. So clearly she just gave away the outcome to the match.
Right. Well, there you go. Exactly. And what kind of shape is she in? Like, there's no way she can be in ring shape. She has been out of the game for a long time, unless she has been at the performance center that we, training her ass off that we don't know about. Like,
right.
We've already be able to hang in there very long.
And we already established the last time we talked to you, Rocky, that she looks pretty good for 85 years old. So we're gonna go ahead and stick with that.
85.
She's only 50. Come on.
She's wrestling Betty White. She's Betty White's age, and she's wrestling.
Is she? I think she's younger than two of us on the show. I'm just taking a guess here.
She's younger than two of us? No, he said she's 53.
She's not 53. Are you serious? She's not 53. I know she's not.
How do you know? You hang out with
We're
her?
gonna find out right now.
You guys bet you hang out with her. You go hang out with her, and you go to her birthday parties.
I don't know her personally, but
according to the Google, Lita is 46 years old.
Oh.
Well, she's the same age.
She's definitely older. She's definitely older than my dog.
Your dog in dog years.
Dang.
No, she's young. What? Who? Mickey James is what?
Mickey James is 42. She doesn't look 42. She looks way younger than that.
She looks 41 for sure.
Anyways.
Okay. Yeah. I digress. Let's back to the action.
Two more on this. I'll save the last one. I'll save the other chamber for last. So let's go to the Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Goldberg.
I play Grogu from Mandalorian. That's who I pick. What if he makes a special appearance?
Grogu.
Let's hear your prediction first on this one.
I just don't know why this is. I mean, I know the Goldberg beat the Fiend when nobody should have beaten him, but unfortunately, Roman Reigns is the most pushed character in the last decade for sure. There's absolutely no chance that Goldberg wins this one.
Roman Reigns definitely retains. I cannot see Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar again at WrestleMania.
No, that's not happening.
It's just not going to happen. Roman Reigns will win in extremely controversial fashion. It's not going to be one-sided. There'll be interference or shenanigans. But yeah,
you know what? I don't think they're even going to do that, Rock. I think he's just going to definitively beat Goldberg. I have a feeling. Not humiliate him, but I think he will definitely definitively beat Goldberg. I have a feeling that's
Don't you think he has to? Now Goldberg's over 50.
Yes.
So don't you think he has to?
Than everybody on this show.
Yeah, I think he has to beat him.
Coach Jay's face thinking, "You motherfucker." I'm definitely not. Old silver coach.
I don't know.
Hey, Coach JC, you could be Goldberg, though.
I bet you I could fight Goldberg.
You're still in pretty damn good shape. So
I'll take Goldberg.
You versus Goldberg would be a good match.
It'll last about 2 minutes. We'll just be like,
I'd pay to see that. That's all Goldberg wrestles anyways. So.
I know. I would pay to see it, too.
He just gives him the jackhammer and then runs off. Winner.
Fucking spears Coach JC and he just no sells it, gets right back up.
I don't even go down. I just do like a ninja side move. Like I just kind of side swipe him over to the ring corner and I just pick him up with my magic Grogu powers and I just throw him on this side of the side.
Just get him face lock.
I actually think they should do a wrestling match like these fake karate videos they show where people don't touch each other. They just do like karate moves and people throw people on the ground with their. Have you seen these? These guys do like karate motions and they act like they don't touch anybody, but they can use their powers to manipulate somebody. I think they should do that. They should just wrestle, but no contact. It's like
what are you talking about?
It's like
Street Fighter.
No, it's like a real karate. Like these little. You ever seen like dumbass karate on videos on like Instagram and stuff? Where they call it the stupid karate. And these dudes do stuff, and they're like,
what you're talking
they
about,
don't.
But it sounds hilarious.
Whatever. So, anyways, I think it's totally COVID friendly. How about that? And you know what? Everybody would appreciate it.
So you chop the air, and then across the room, the other guy falls down.
Yeah, that would be perfect, right?
That's pretty funny. I want to see that.
This isn't COVID times. We were not going to touch each other. We're just going to wrestle across the ring of each other.
Telepathic karate fights.
Yeah.
Hey.
Coach Jason.
We already talked about this, during one of our podcasts. That's what the Ramrock's going to do. We're going to have the Zoom fight,
that's right.
Yeah, exactly. We've already figured this out.
I think you guys should just cut demos on each other and put it out there for the crowd to vote on. Winner gets the most votes, wins the belt. Yep.
This fight, they're just going to cut promos on a big screen and then you vote.
Well, dude, Ramrock puts it all out there, man. I see some of his other promos from his Fed, and they just like standing in a room against the wall, and they're like, never mind my Death Leopard poster behind me, but this Saturday night I'm going to fight somebody. And then Ramrock's got like the graphics and all kinds of crap.
Ramrock's in full gimmick mode, man. There's nobody touching him right now in the Arizona wrestling scene for pushing his videos.
Yeah,
I think
you win.
He's got a lot of jealousy and hate out there, but that's because they can't compete with him.
Yeah, I think you win alone just on the fact that you got some kick-ass graphics.
Hey, I put the work in there. That's what I do, man.
That's what's called being a professional, right? That's what it is.
That's right.
You want to be a
Absolutely.
pro? You want to be a pro? You do the pro stuff.
I'm going to make people believe in my gimmick, I have to believe in it. And the way you do that is what I'm doing.
I want to buy a shirt.
Hey,
buy a shirt for their own
sale right now. I will sell you a shirt. You just tell me your size.
Where do I go get one? Where do I go get
throw
one?
The image of the Ramrock shirt up on this video.
Where do I get that? Where do I get that shirt, Ramrock?
You can buy the Ramrock t-shirt exclusively on social media. All you have to do is just like, subscribe, and follow the Ramrock on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, any one of them. Like and subscribe to the Ramrock. Send me a DM with your size and your address. I will ship you a shirt immediately.
Damn. See how easy that was? And don't get it mixed up with the Ram cock. Because if you do that one, you're gonna end up on a porno site. So Ram Rock, R-O-C-K.
Not even thinking about that at all.
Okay, Mr. Straight and
Now
Narrow.
I can't unhear that. I can't unhear that.
Someone's going to type it in wrong. They'll be like, who the fuck's this guy? Get your shirts.
Well,
All right.
In all seriousness,
Yeah.
the other guy's got to get up to the Ramrock's level. He's not going down to their level. They're going to have to up their game to get on his level because he's killing it right now.
Again, it's called being professional. Got to appreciate Ramrock for what he does. Go out and support him. Buy his shirts.
Thank you very much.
All right, keep going with the wrestling. Let's go.
All right, we got one last match here. Wrap this up here.
Jeez, man, taking forever.
I don't know if this is the main. I consider it the main event because this is going to determine the final road to WrestleMania path. We got the men's Elimination Chamber matchup taking place. We got the WWE champion himself, Bobby Lashley, defending his title in the chamber against Austin Theory, Vince McMahon's personal, what would you call him, young boy?
Protege,
young boy, whatever. We got phenomenal AJ Styles. We got Seth.
young boy.
That's a Japanese term for young boy. That's not what you're talking about. Not what you're thinking about. I know what you're thinking.
Young boy.
We got Seth freaking Rollins, the ever entertaining, he's just known as Matt Riddle, and the last participant, the Beast himself, the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. And I kind of know where I think Ramrock might be going, but I want to get your prediction first.
I'm going with Doink. I'm going with Doink the Clown. Doink the Clown.
Doink the Clown for WrestleMania.
Yep.
Okay.
Riddle the Clown.
Which version of Doink? Wasn't there like 5 or 6 Doinks?
I don't know how many different times you can doink, but I'll take the original.
PTSD.
The original Doink the Clown. That's a good choice.
Double doink, the missed field goal of the Bears. PTSD right now.
All right, I'm going with Brock Lesnar. He takes it all. It's a struggle at the end. Someone tries to cheat, but with the Brock Lesnar power, he pulls ahead, beats the shit out of everybody, jumps into the audience, drinks a beer out of someone's shoe like the UFC fighter, and then that's it. Retires.
This is the only match where this was going to be Rock's main prediction, and he just jumped right in front of him and stole his prediction.
Fuck yeah, man. It's my show, too. I can do what I want.
Oh, man. Oh, jeez.
Ramrock was waiting all show to predict Brock Lesnar. Coach JC, fuck you, brother.
No, that was good. That was great,
I have control of the board. I'll do what I want.
I know. I'm just laughing at those.
That was fantastic.
If you want, I'll edit it out. I'll say I think, and then you can just say Rocky, and I'll be like, I knew it.
Coach JC, I predict Riddle to win.
Yeah,
it's just subbed in, dubbed in.
Just dubbed in. Matt Riddle.
Matt Riddle. Like a computer voice. Matt Riddle.
Computer, just Riddle. I predict Riddle. And Rocky's guest jumps in.
Fantastic.
So Rock, were you gonna pick Brock Lesnar on this one?
Yes, I was. If you recall,
he's been talking it.
If you recall from 1 or 2 times, the last time you guys had me on, I think it was the Royal Rumble prediction. I predicted we would have a champion versus champion match at WrestleMania, and that's still very much a possibility. So yes, I definitely am going with Brock Lesnar to take the victory. Now, the fan in me, I really wish AJ Styles was going to win. Man, he deserves a better spot on the card.
I agree.
I would love to see AJ, a super surprise victory, go in there. And I think AJ and Reigns would tear the freaking house down, or even AJ and anybody, if we're being completely honest. AJ and Bobby would have a fantastic match.
AJ versus Seth, I think. AJ on the same brand, AJ versus Seth would probably be a hell of a match for.
That's a dream match for sure. That's absolutely a dream match. AJ Styles is I like to refer to him as the modern day Bret Hart. You know, that guy can work anybody and make them look great. He made Omos look great. So there you go. Bret Hart was the same way. He could wrestle anybody and make him look good.
Was that possible to make Omos look great at this point?
I mean, Omos is super big, and for what limitations he can do, AJ sure made him look like a beast out there. So
yeah,
good job to AJ. But Brock Lesnar wins the match for sure. We're going to get a champion versus champion. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania main event.
Well, I think here's the issue where initially when I thought, because I'll go a little contrary, just because my initial thought what they would do is have Roman Reigns interfere in this matchup and cost Brock to further their feud. Although he kind of did that to cost him already, so I don't know if he'll do it again. The problem is there is absolutely nobody that has a good marquee matchup, I'm thinking, with Bobby Lashley at this WrestleMania at all. So if he was to retain his title here, I just don't know where they go with him from there. Unfortunately, they haven't built up a fresh matchup in the making that I could think of that would be good for Lashley. Now, I've heard the rumors that they could have Riddle win and then do Riddle versus Orton for the Raw title, since that's the hottest story basically on Raw. But I'm not sure if they're ready, like Coach JC was alluding to that, just waiting to put that match where it, just like in Rey Mysterio versus his son's case, they might be dragging the Riddle and Orton storyline to headline its own pay-per-view down the road. But if it's not Brock, who then? That's that's a big question. If it's not Brock, what matchup do you get for this Raw title at WrestleMania?
Yeah, unless you're going to squeeze in a fast lane or do some quick battle royal on Raw to determine the number one contender to face Bobby Lashley. And honestly, yeah, if you look at the roster, it's just like you said, who's ready for a main event spotlight to go one-on-one with Bobby Lashley? There isn't a damn person that I can think of. Yeah. Riddle would be cool. I like that storyline. I think that would be a huge surprise, and it definitely would be shocking. And but you also have to take into consideration that Randy Orton has officially he's on his retirement path. He's down to I think 80 shows a year now.
Really?
So yeah, I read that on the dirt sheets that he renegotiated his contract, and he is going to be limited part-time in WWE. So he's definitely on that path to step it away, and so they've made stars the world heavyweight champion before. They've made part-time guys, and they've made it work, but. Is Randy Orton that kind of draw? Can he be a part-time champion and still draw that kind of money? Possibly.
What would be actually cool here is because I know they had the women's mystery thing and then they just spoiled that. What would have been cool, and I know that probably not enough time, and I don't even know what Cody's thoughts are going to Saudi anyways. It would have been cool to have that Austin Theory spot open like a mystery guest, and the best thing that would have happened would actually be Cody actually winning the WWE title at this, and then you could just kind of any matchup is a fresh matchup at that point on Raw. Yep. But I just think without that type of mystery guest and without something picturing that they have something for AJ, like you were saying, it would be great to see AJ win and then have a Seth matchup. Without that looking likely at this point, the only logical probably thing that's going to happen here is Brock win and do title versus title.
Absolutely. Now, here's I'm going to throw the wild card theory out there, and I'm going to play off your prediction right there with Cody Rhodes. Yeah. What if Bobby Lashley retains? We get the Roman Reigns screw job. He screws Brock Lesnar over. Bobby retains. Monday Night Raw comes around. Bobby, I'm so dominant. I beat Brock Lesnar twice, blah, blah, blah. Nobody, there's nobody to face me. Bam, Cody Rhodes comes out. I could see that happening.
Yeah. It's the only issue, because I think Miz personally is a better matchup, although I wish Miz was in this instead of Austin Theory. The problem with that is who's asking for a Cody Rhodes versus Bobby Lashley match?
I don't know. That's that wild card thing,
Yeah, that's a fresh matchup. That's completely. I think the buzz would be what's selling that right off the bat. But I think just out of all the people I would pick to pair with Cody right off the bat, I don't know if I would have Lashley as the guy. And it's just why did they put the belt on Bobby to do that? Unless it's just bad to just not have a plan going forward.
Right. I mean,
you'd rather have AJ walk out and then have AJ look for a contender and it be Cody Rhodes. That would be pretty damn awesome to.
That would be fantastic too. I would
Yeah.
love to see that. I would absolutely love to see that. But yeah, I mean, we know beyond a shadow of a doubt we're getting Reigns versus Lesnar, whether it's title versus title or not.
Yeah.
That's going to be that'll likely be the final match of this year's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And I got to ask you guys this, as you guys are just talking. Is it in their best interest to have that as the WrestleMania main event?
Brock versus Roman Reigns?
Yes.
Well, that's the main event tonight, too. I guarantee you that.
Definitely. Main event of night one will be Charlotte and Ronda.
Yeah, I agree. Charlotte and Ronda night, because that's probably in Ronda's contract, probably, too, that they restructured. And then you can assure you that Roman Reigns has been pushed so hard for, 500 plus days, 600 days by the
Almost
time
2
Mania comes
years.
around.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just unfathomable that he would not hold the belt at this point. Not only to Mania, but and you just don't see Brock working through the summer. So it's probably likely he gets that definitive win over Brock too and becomes the unified champion. I mean, it seems very likely at this point that that's where they're headed. And probably if they can lure Jon Moxley away, you're probably thinking that he'll have the belt all the way up at least until they can get another surprise. I just don't see Cody versus Roman being it's Moxley versus Roman that has the built-in history. That's who they probably really want. They probably will take them both. But I think at this point, the one that probably is going to really feud with Roman over the summer, if they can get Moxley to jump too, that's a gigantic marquee matchup right there.
That's a huge marquee matchup, and they left it wide open for Seth versus Roman too. We didn't get that definitive finish that everybody wanted, so that's definitely another match for Roman. If the dirt sheets are correct, Roman's not dropping this belt for any time soon. He is going to be our champion for a very, very long time.
I think they want him versus The Rock. If they can just convince The Rock to do that Hollywood WrestleMania, doesn't he live out there now too? Or he's definitely got one of his homes for sure in
Yes,
Hollywood.
sir. Yes, sir, he does.
I gotta say also, The Rock on the Super Bowl was trash.
You're the first person to say that because everyone's like, dude, The Rock.
It had nothing to do with anything. It was like if I was a player, I had to stand there listening to Rock babble about who's in the Super Bowl like we don't know. I would have been like, what the frick's this dude standing in the middle of the field? Can we get the kickoff going already? We're all ready to go. And he's out there saying, blah, 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 blah. Who cares, Rock? Get off. We've seen you. It's getting old. All right, you got 1 minute. You got 1 minute to wrap it up. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Coach JC. What?
Would you vote for The Rock for the new for the president of the United States?
No. All right, you got 1 minute. I'd have to watch him walk around. I had to watch him walk around with his kid's shirt on all the time, saying, "My arms are getting so big that I can't even feel them anymore." So, all right, here we go. 1 minute. Wrap it up.
Obviously, like this video, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. But leave this last minute. Ram Rock, plug what you got. Your social media. You already plugged the event you got going on this Saturday, but where can people find you and buy that shirt and find out any other news of yours? Tell us.
Follow the Ramrock on all forms of social media at the Ramrock. Follow Sonorian Championship Wrestling on all forms of social media. Ramrock is exclusive to SCW in Arizona. Thank you, guys.
That's right. That's right, WWE. Don't try to take them. All right, that's Me Podcast. You listen. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Go to the Facebook and everything else we got. Make sure you subscribe to MC's other things as well. Thanks for checking out Wrestling with the Boys. As Me Podcast. You listen another week. Please listen, subscribe, and ring the bell.